questions to all of you. And whether it's your individual business or your members, you can comment. But we've got the 2001-2003 tax cuts expiring, which is going to raise the marginal rate structure. I'm curious how it's going to affect you or affect your members, particularly if you're, specifically if you're filing, you may have your business, but you may be filing as an individual or as a couple, whatever the case may be. But I'd be very curious, Mr. Koenig.
Thank you, Ranking Member Graves. Certainly the National Restaurant Association, we represent all restaurants from the local entrepreneur with one establishment to multinationals. As I said earlier in my testimony, most of our members are your traditional small businesses. Almost 2/3 of our membership operate as so-called subchapter S corporations. So for those who are in the 33% or 35%, and of course for tax treatment purposes, S corporations, the income flows through to the individual shareholders. For those in the 33% rate and the 35% rate, they will see their taxes increase if nothing is done before the end of the year.
Mr. Joyce.
It's a very difficult time to see any type of increase because most of us are living right on the edge whether they're profitable or not profitable. If that rate goes up, all of our banks sit in and look at our financial statements and our balance sheet, and we may have made commitments to buy capital and things that we're paying with after-tax dollars. Maybe it's a business buyout from a family member or whatever. And every time these things change, they have dramatic impact on our cash flows, what we're showing our banks, and how we move forward, whether we can invest, buy that next peak truck or whatever that is. So I can't say enough how important it is to get some stability across the board in some of these tax areas. And I think the velocity, if we can get business growing, the velocity of new business and paying at a little bit lower rate will far outpace what you would get from an increase. And again, I feel so backed in a corner as a business person because every penny of my after-tax money is committed to do something with. So if taxes go up 10% and we expect a tough couple of years, it really puts me in a jam, particularly on the credit side. A lot of people don't think about that. So anything you can do to help and just get stability there, and just don't increase it. If you leave it where it is, we'll make it work. But if you keep going every which way, because we've already got health care increases and other areas that we've got to pay. So anything that can be done to stop that will be a big help.
Mr. Collins?
And to echo, NRCA membership as a whole, you are roughly talking about 97% of our membership would fall in what the government would quantify as a small business. So when I speak to the effect personally, I am speaking to the effects of the association as a whole and its membership base, and it would be the same. I mean, the fear that's out there is stagnating growth, and uncertainty is compounding that problem. And whether it's through stability or whether it's through stimulating activity like GRETA, those are the things that we're looking for and trying to encourage.
Mr. Green?
I would echo those comments. I think anything we can do to keep the tax rates from going up would be beneficial to all the small business owners, not just the architects, but as we've heard at this table, anybody that is working hard right now to keep food on their table, that tax money or lack of lower tax rates would be critical. Our industry is absolutely subject to the credit market, and in addition to keeping the taxes low, what we really need to do is we need to get control of the credit markets so that we can be putting projects on the board that these gentlemen can be working on. And until we get those credit markets stabilized and we get strong rules on there, it's not just the taxes, but it's the credit markets that are affecting our industry in an enormous way.
raising taxes on small business at any time is not a good idea, but doing so now seems particularly unwise. We often hear it argued that raising the top two rates wouldn't impact small business because only a few of them will actually pay that. Well, like I said in my testimony, according to the Treasury Department, it is true that only 8% of small businesses pay at the top two rates, but those small businesses earn a vast majority of the income earned by small businesses and pay almost all the taxes paid by small businesses. They're the biggest ones that create the most economic activity. They're the ones we need to help pull us out of this recession or get the recovery going and creating jobs. Now is not the time to raising taxes on them.